Hey everyone, welcome to 1023 Yoga. You've arrived. In this week's Guns and Poses class, I'm going to be showing my fellow police officers poses that can be taken right to the firing line. This helps ensure a calm mind, a steady breath, and a strong core for precision shooting even when you're under fire. Let's get started. All right, for today's class, I recommend if you have a couple of foam blocks or one, you could also substitute by using a book. The criminal code is about that thick. A foam cushion could be from your couch, a pillow, or if you do have a yoga foam block, perfect. And don't forget your training pistol if you have one. Let's get started. All right, so finding that comfortable seated position on your pillow or foam block, just as a way to help elevate the pelvis, so you can find a bit more comfort. And just taking a few breaths here to settle in, to slow down, to arrive. As you inhale, shoulders may come up, back, and down. Noticing where you can soften, maybe the knees, maybe the hips, maybe the facial muscles. Giving yourself permission to be here and be present. Good. I'm going to be teaching you a breathing exercise known in Sanskrit as Ujjayi, or it's referred to as the oceanic breath. I like to call it the Darth Vader breath for my fellow Star Wars fans. Um, it's an audible and long exhale. So I'll demonstrate, and I hope my microphone will pick it up. It might be a bit choppy. I apologize. But as I inhale, get that length in breath, and then as I exhale, it's this audible constriction at the back of the throat. So the way to think of it is when you fog a mirror, that feeling you have as you're doing that, but the mouth is closed. Okay. So this breath, because it's audible, I find I use this on the firing range, and it really helps focus and broaden that field of vision when we need it most. So let's try it together. So inhaling to get that long inhale breath, exhaling mouth closed, throat constricted. Good. Again. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Good. So coming back to a normal breath, I'll remind you throughout the practice when to re-cue that in many of our guns and poses postures today. Okay. So for now, with normal breath, let's inhale and circle the arms up and overhead. And exhale, bring them back down. Just getting some movement into the shoulders to warm up. Inhale and exhale back down. Some synovial fluid into the joints. Inhale and up. Here's for the change. Let's lower the left palm down as you lean over to that left side, getting length in the right side body. If you notice you're tending to round forward like so, can you bring the heart up toward the sky to open up? Good. Each exhale, you might be able to extend that arm a little further to get that stretch. Finding the next inhale to come up back to center. Let's come into the opposite side. Right palm down, leaning over to the right. Again, check in. Are you rounding forward? Can you bring that shoulder back and that heart up? Maybe the gaze goes up. Breathing. Good. Getting stretch between the ribs, the intercostal muscles. That'll come into play later. Next inhale brings you back up to center, both arms up. Exhale and bring the palms to center. Now from here, I like to just rock the fingers back and forth a little bit. Maybe bring the wrists forward and down, or the fingers rather forward and down. Kind of activates that wrist, opens it up a little bit. Okay. And then maybe circle the wrists one way, get all those creaks and cracks out, and the other way. Good. And then just lengthen and strengthen in the fingers, those trigger fingers, right? We want to lengthen and curl. Good. And then shake it out. And we're going to move the prop that you're sitting on, swing the legs around, and we'll meet on all fours. So from all fours, I like to use my fists on the ground as a way to take pressure off the wrists, but that's your choice. Gonna place that right palm or fist firmly into the ground as you inhale and lift the right leg up and back. Now you might stay here. This is already activating the core, or you can extend that opposite left arm. Notice that feeling of stretching in opposite directions. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, maybe round elbow to knee. Inhale, get that length again, and exhale to round. So you're activating your core, warming up the spine, and getting a stretch as well. Couple more. Inhaling, lengthening, exhaling, rounding. Good. On the last inhale here, let's exhale, place the knee and fist back down, and just find the other side from here. So I'm going to extend that left leg back. I might stay here, or I might inhale and find balance on this side. Inhaling, getting that length, stretching in opposite directions. Exhaling to round the spine, knee to elbow. Inhaling, extending, exhaling, rounding. A few more like that. Breathing, inhaling, exhaling, rounding. Good. One more here, inhaling and extending, and then exhaling to bring the fists or palms down. Now, preparing for downward facing canine, I'm going to place my palms on the mat about just slightly further than shoulder width. Tuck the back toes, inhale and exhale. Bring the buttocks to the sky. You might pedal the feet out here. If you're fairly new to yoga and you find that you're in more of a sort of push-up position with the shoulders forward like so, try bending the knees deeply. You may have tight hamstrings, very common, and then sort of sink the bum back. The chest comes towards the top of the thighs. And then from here, you can begin to slightly straighten the knees. It takes time to gain that flexibility. A lot of practice. Good. So from here, bring the feet to touch together. We're going to inhale the right leg up and back, three-legged dog. You're going to exhale that knee through and place the foot between the palms. If you need to help that foot forward, no problem. Now lowering the back knee, check in if you need padding for that knee. Okay, you can always roll the mat over if you don't have something. Inhaling the arms up and overhead, sinking into the pelvis here. So I'm getting a nice stretch on that left hip and quadricep. I'm going to inhale and get length, and then I'm going to exhale, grabbing my left wrist with the right hand, I'm going to lean to the right. So I'm getting a nice stretch along the left side of the body. Good. I'm going to inhale back up to center. Keep the knee on the ground where it is. I'm going to bring that right leg out to the side. So my knee is in line with the instep of that right foot. I'm going to grab your training pistol if you have one, or you can use your finger gun, no problem. So I'm going to come up. Now in yoga, known as a gate pose, excuse me, something here, known as gate pose in yoga, but you guys might recognize this as leaning around a barricade, finding your target, right? So if I had that brick wall or something that I'm using for cover, I'm now in this position leaning out. Now, cue that breath, Darth Vader breath. I'm really tapping into that breath because my core is working overtime right now. And normally we have big, heavy belt. We have our vest, which is tight to breathe in. It's a lot going on. So you really need to breathe. Good. Find the next inhale. Come back up to center. We're going to lower our training pistol here. Okay. Fingertips or palms on the ground. And I'm just going to gently rock back and forth. Okay. So now I'm kind of feeling a stretch in that inner thigh, inner hip. Letting that go. Good. And then we'll bring that knee back to center, back to where we were. I'm going to press back up into downward facing canine. Pedal the feet again. And let the head kind of loosen, neck loosen. Let it go. Good. And again, if you have tight hamstrings, just bend the knees, okay? Bringing the feet together, inhaling to lift the left leg to the sky. Exhaling, knee towards chest and stepping that foot through. And you can always help the heel forward, no problem. Bringing your pillow or prop below the knee as you lower the back knee. Inhaling to come up into that low lunge on this side. So again, noticing that stretch on the front of the hip and quadricep on the other side. Inhale, get length. Exhale, grabbing that opposite wrist and leaning to the side. Good. So kind of like we did in the beginning, if you're noticing that you're rounding forward, try to open the heart toward the sky. Good. Inhaling back up to center, lowering the palms as you extend that leg to the side. Okay, so arch of that foot in line with the knee. I'm going to grab my training pistol again, and I'm getting ready for gate pose on the opposite side. So in yoga, you're leaning, right? But we're around a barricade right now. I need to punch out. Activate that breath. Lean. You got to lean far, right? There's a lot going on. Darth Vader breath here. Notice everything that's activated. Good. And come back to center. Place your palms back down to the ground. Fingertips or palms, and then just gently back and forth, feeling that release and that stretch in the inner thigh and inner hip. Good. And bring that knee back to the center and toss the cushion aside. And once again, let's come into downward facing canine. Pedal the feet. Relax the head. Let out a few sighs. Let that go. Good. So we're going to roll the body like a wave. The spine is like a wave. I'm coming forward into a plank. Okay. So from here, we're going to turn it up a little bit because in preparation for the next Guns and Poses, the next Guns and Poses posture, you want to make it real, right? And our heart rate would be elevated. So you might already be feeling the heat. I know I am. You can always place your knees on the mat for a little extra support if you need, no problem. But I'm going to suggest mountain climbers. So many of us know that from the gym. You're going knee to chest, right? Knee, chest, okay? You can go as fast as you want, as slow as you want. If you are on your knees for a little bit of extra support, no problem. You're just going a little bit slower, just lighter mountain climbers like so, okay? I'm still activating the side of my core here on the obliques. I can feel that, okay? So after you've done a few of those, feeling the heat, heart rate's elevated, we're going to exhale down to the chest and belly. Good. And from here, coming into a Sphinx pose, where the shoulders are below the elbows are below the shoulders. See how increasing things can even make you lose your thinking a little bit, right? So imagine when we're on the firing line. So if this is a lot for the low back, because it is quite an intense compression, just walk those elbows forward a little bit. Okay, take a moment, but not too long, because we're going to grab our training pistol. So from here, I'm going to walk the feet out really wide, okay? And you're going to knock the heels in towards the center line, okay? And I'm going to bring that pistol up. And now you might recognize this as prone shooting. So the elbows might come a little bit wider, okay? You can adjust how close they are or far away from the body they are. But again, noticing the breath, the little bit of heat you've created, the increased heart rate. Can you find that Darth Vader breath? Right on target. Breathing. The reason I like to use this on the firing line is it's muscle memory that you're training yourself for real life, right? So when you have those big earphones and earplugs in at the range, you can really hear this breath. It's just you and your breath, and the instructor yelling at you in the mic as well. But good. So we're going to lower that down, place the palms, maybe stack them, bring the feet in. And I like to just lift the heels to the sky and just windshield wiper the legs back and forth. Just releasing the hips, releasing the back, and let it go. Good. Okay. Bring the feet down, place the palms below the shoulders, tuck the toes, press up to all fours, and let's just take a brief child's pose to counter that. So buttocks comes down to heels. You can have the knees together or the knees wide, your choice. And palms can be extended up overhead or down beside your feet to release the shoulders. Take a moment. Good. We're going to inhale to come back up to all fours. Okay. From here, I'm going to, as we did before, I'm going to inhale that leg, that right leg back, and I'm going to exhale and bring the knee through. So here we are starting in that low lunge, but I'm going to lift the back leg. I'm going to press the left foot down on a 45-degree angle. Knee is above this ankle, and I'm going to find that foundation as I inhale to come up into warrior one. Okay. So this kind of gets into the calf of the rear foot, something you might recognize here when you're on the firing line. This is a good base for shooting shotgun. The recoil on that sucker always gives me a knockback, and I like to have a really wide base, and Warrior One is perfect for that. So if I was a southpaw, I'd be here, right? Chambering, and I'm ready to go. And now when that kickback happens, I've got a really solid foundation, okay? Darth Vader breath. Let it go. Good. Inhale, arms up. Now, lengthen the front leg with a slight micro bend in the knee. You're going to exhale, coming forward till you feel that hamstring stretch. As soon as that starts talking to you, you might use your blocks or your criminal code in front of you like so. You can shorten the stance if you need to, so it's not so intense. But the blocks really help to elevate the ground a little bit, okay? And that way I'm able to I have a nice long spine here, and I can really lengthen into that hamstring stretch, okay? This is pyramid pose. Inhale and exhale to lengthen into the stretch. Good. Couple of breaths here. Awesome. Inhaling back up. We're going to put the blocks just to the side. And I'm just going to simply step back into a plank. I might come down into a chaturanga. Inhaling into cobra. Exhale and back up into downward facing dog. Down to all fours. Let's lift that left knee. Exhale, bring it through. Step the heel down, heel and knee alignment. I'm going to lift that back leg and step that foot onto a 45-degree angle for Warrior One foundation. You might pick up your shotgun here, right? So again, chambering, boom, recoil. I'm stable here. I'm really stable. Darth Vader breath. Check in with the shoulders, right? Those tend to really creep up to the ears. Can you let those relax? Good. Let go of your air shotgun. Inhale the arms up. Lengthen that front leg, micro bend in the knee, and then exhale. Getting into that hamstring again. You might reach for those blocks. Might shorten the stance. Exhaling to get length. Couple of breaths here. Good. Next inhale. I'm going to circle the arms up and overhead, and then I'm simply just bringing the palms down. I'm going to step back into downward facing dog. You can come into a child's pose, or you can do one more vinyasa flow with me into plank. Exhale down, up into cobra, and back up. And then now let's all meet in child's pose and just take a moment. Rounding the spine, relaxing. Check my mic here. Okay. Good. Now let's simply come up to all fours and just swing the legs around so we're finding ourselves in seated position here with the legs forward. Okay, so from here, have your training pistol or your finger gun ready. Okay. So I'm going to come down. I'm going to use the core strength to slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time onto the back. Good. Now, from here, keeping the feet, maybe moving them in a little bit so that they're right below the knees and they're hip width apart. Okay. Just going to warm up a little bit by just tapping each heel, okay, heel or ankle. So you're just kind of, you're bending the spine from side to side. We don't often move the spine in that motion. And you're warming up the obliques, the abdominal muscles on the side. Okay, good, good, good. Come back to center and lower. Okay. Now from here, I'm going to take that training pistol or my finger gun, and I'm going to activate the core and come up. You might recognize this from shooting from our back. Okay. And activating those muscles again. Maybe my target's moving, so I need to move from left to middle to right. How's that Darth Vader breath? Right? So you might jump back and forth. Really activating the core here, because your target could be on the move. Okay? Good. Now let it go. Place your pistol down. Let it go for a sec. Okay. Now to counter the core, we're going to come into a bridge pose, Setu Bandhasana in Sanskrit. I'm going to move to the side so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to move my props out of the way. Okay. So the feet are below my knees again. Make sure you can see me. And I'm going to tilt the pelvis, right? So then I can feel the low back pressing into the ground. My palms are alongside my body. I'm going to inhale, hips up toward the sky. And then I'm going to exhale back down. So a couple times like that, inhaling up, okay, feeling that extension in the pelvis and hips, and then exhaling to roll back down. Inhaling, let's come up and stay up, okay? So you can stay here. You can intensify it by rolling the shoulders underneath, maybe clasping the hands as if you're putting yourself in handcuffs here. Notice the knees. Are they splaying out really wide? Because that tends to happen. So can you bring them back hip width apart and breathe? So belly is going to fill up like a balloon as you inhale and exhale. Good. And the benefit of this as well is you are stimulating your thyroid gland, which is responsible for metabolism. So you can have an extra snack after this, a double. Unless you're bitter like me. I drink black coffee. My coffee's like me, dark and bitter. Okay, so we're going to exhale back down to the ground. Let's bring the knees into the chest and rock from side to side, massaging the low back. Good. Feels nice, doesn't it? Sigh, let it out. We're cooling down here. Good. And from here, coming into happy baby, we're going to reach through the knees, grab the outside edge of the feet, and lift them towards the sky. My elbows are inside my knees here. If you can't quite reach this, or you find your butt's really floating, no problem. You could grab like the edge of your pants. You could even grab your knees from the inside and just widen the legs. Okay. You're still getting the benefit of this pose. And if you rock from side to side gently, you're actually massaging your adrenal glands, which we often have working in overdrive. So it's a nice massage for those guys. And come back to center. Okay, find stillness, find breath. Slowing down. Good. Now, bringing both legs together and up, all the way up. Waterfall pose. So from here, I'm just going to roll up just to show you. If you do have a cushion or a foam, what you can do is place it under the low back, or the sacrum rather, just at the edge of the tailbone there. And it can just sort of help you relax a little deeper into the pose. If you don't have a pillow or something like that, it's not a problem. It just, you may have a little bit more activation, like lifting the legs, and that's okay. It's no problem. But let's all meet here. Okay. Waterfall pose. So this is super beneficial for the lymphatic system. Any inversions are. You're allowing everything to flow the opposite way. So fluids and everything we have always pools in our legs because we are on our feet all the time. We're sitting all the time. Okay. Um, so this is a great way to calm the nervous system, reverse the flow of those fluids, and it can also help doing this before bed. You can have the arms up as well, really adding to the benefit. This can help promote sleep if you have insomnia. Just cooling down. Good. Noticing if you're feeling energized or tired or the same. Good. And beginning to prepare the mind and body for your final relaxation pose, which I highly encourage you to stick around for. Um, A, because we don't always get to just lay down and do nothing for a few moments, so take it while you can. And B, because it's one of the most beneficial postures actually of the practice, is to integrate everything we've done and allow the body to just settle, kind of like sand in a glass, swirling around. Let that glass settle and then allow that sediment to just come down. Okay. So you can extend the legs out. You can always place something under the knees, like a blanket, or even just bend the knees if you have low back issues, no problem. Palms can rest on the belly, or traditionally they're outstretched alongside the body. You can remove hair ties or eyeglasses to find more comfort. Letting go of any control of breath. No more of that constriction at the back of the throat. Just breathing normally, softly. Scanning the body, beginning with the scalp and forehead, muscles around the eyes. Can they soften? Your jaw, gently part the teeth. Soften your shoulders, your chest, your back, your arms, hands, and fingers. Let it go. Hips and buttocks, the thighs and knees, the hamstrings, the lower legs, ankles and feet, right to your toes, relaxed. Say to yourself, I am calm and relaxed. Feel free to stay longer if you need. Coming back to the breath, just noticing your body, maybe bringing gentle movements such as wiggling the toes and fingers, rocking the head from side to side, maybe bringing the knees back into the chest, around the spine. Rolling to one side into a rounded fetal position. And from here, just pressing up to find your way into a seated cross-legged position as we did at the beginning. Good. If you can remember which leg you had in front, you can use the opposite one here. Just taking a few breaths, noticing how you feel, checking in. Good. If you found this helpful or fun in any way, please share with other police officers, subscribe to my channel, and hit that like button. And we'll see you again. Stay safe out there.